The Cold War. A time of terrifying tension where the world stood on the brink of nuclear annihilation and ridiculousness in equal measure. From absurd propaganda to bizarre inventions, the era was filled with contradictions. We all know about the nuclear arms race, the stockpiling of weapons capable of ending civilization, but behind the scenes, another battle raged. A battle for hearts and minds and stomachs. Nations sought to win influence not just through might, but through sustenance. Yes, folks, food became a weapon. Aid packages were sent across the globe, aiming to win allies through generosity. The US, with its overflowing grain silos and cheese caves, saw an opportunity. They believed that feeding the world could be a path to peace and influence. Why not win over the world with the power of powdered milk? This humble product became a symbol of American aid. It seemed like a good idea at the time, probably. The effectiveness of these efforts is still debated, but the impact on global food distribution was undeniable. America's motives, while perhaps a tad self-serving, weren't entirely nefarious. They had a complex mix of altruism and self-interest. On one hand, they genuinely wanted to help countries in need, providing them with essential supplies and food. On the other hand, these actions also served to bolster America's image on the global stage, showcasing their generosity and strength. They wanted to help. Sort of. The aid was a strategic move, a way to win hearts and minds during the Cold War. By providing food and supplies, America aimed to create allies and counter the influence of the Soviet Union. See, getting food to hungry people was good PR. It made headlines and painted America as the benevolent superpower. This was crucial in a time when global perception could sway political alliances and power dynamics. Plus, it helped American farmers unload their surplus. Win-win, right? Well, not always. While it seemed like a perfect solution, there were complications. The logistics of transporting and distributing these goods were immense and often fraught with challenges. Shipping tons of powdered milk across the globe isn't cheap. The costs were staggering and the process was slow and cumbersome. It required a massive effort to ensure that the aid reached its intended destinations. And let's be honest, powdered milk, it's not exactly a culinary delicacy. Many recipients were unfamiliar with it and didn't know how to use it effectively. This led to mixed results in terms of the aid's impact, sometimes causing more confusion than relief. Turns out what works in Wisconsin doesn't necessarily fly in, say, Bangladesh. Tastes differ, cultures clash, and some folks just don't have the stomachs for all that lactose. The result? Well-intentioned aid sometimes backfired. Local markets got disrupted, people felt patronized, and let's just say gastrointestinal distress was a recurring theme. Meanwhile, India was like, hold my chai. They had a plan, a vision to transform their dairy industry from the ground up. They launched Operation Flood, a homegrown dairy revolution that aimed to make India self-sufficient in milk production. No powdered milk handouts here. India decided to take control of its own destiny, rejecting foreign aid and focusing on local resources. They empowered their own farmers, built a national milk grid, and basically said, movie overworld, we got this. They invested in rural infrastructure, ensuring that even the smallest villages had access to modern dairy facilities. India became a dairy superpower. The country saw a massive increase in milk production, turning it into the largest milk producer in the world. The takeaway? Sometimes the best way to help is to empower people to help themselves. By providing training and resources, India enabled its farmers to thrive. Also, maybe lay off the powdered milk diplomacy. Just a thought. Instead, focus on sustainable local solutions that build long-term resilience and self-sufficiency.